Hey guys, it's Jenna and Harvey is here as well to say hello. In today's video, we're going to be talking about... You're making me look bad. My videos are supposed to be exciting. Today we're going to be talking about new eyeshadow palettes at Sephora, and I'm super excited because I do want to get your opinion on them. Do you want me to pick them up? Are you even excited about them? Because there are some that are kind of exciting and there's some that aren't really exciting. So let's chat all about the new eyeshadow palettes at Sephora. The first eyeshadow palette I do want to talk about, you guys know this is new at Sephora and it is a palette that I've already done my first impressions and I am thoroughly done testing this one now. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. This is the first one of his line. The packaging style is very on trend right now. There's lots of heavily reflective metallic packaging styles going on. And this one has two cream shadows over here, and then we've got a row of shimmers and we have a row of mattes. I actually really would recommend this palette. There are a couple things that I think you should take note of, which I did discover in my first impressions video, but basically these creams are a little bit fast to set and they do have a bit of a stiffer formulation. So if you do want to use cream, just work a little faster than you typically would. They do glide on the lid, but I do find that they're just a touch stiffer than what I would have preferred. If there was a little bit more slip, I think it would have been a little bit easier to work with for all sorts of makeup skill level. But this is a beautiful, like, everyday friendly palette. I feel like the shimmers vary between, you know, super shimmery, like toppers almost, and then there's some like subtle shimmers. The mattes are super creamy. I think he did a fantastic job with this one. When it comes to color story, I mean, it's not the most unique in the world, let's be honest. This is kind of like fundamental, a lot of shades that we typically have. So this is going to come down to, are you looking for a palette that's going to be very user-friendly like this? Do you have shades kind of like this that you're hitting pan on and you want something different? Or do you want to just support Patrick Ta and his brand, right? That's really just up to you. But if you are interested in picking this one up, the quality is definitely there. With regards to the cream shadows, just make sure that you are using my tip when it comes to applying them, working a little bit faster than you typically would. This next one is one I really want to get your opinion of if you want me to test it out or not. It's really been a while since I've done an Anastasia Beverly Hills review. For some reason, your guys' interest in previous Norvina volume palettes wasn't really there, so I didn't do a review on them because it didn't seem like you guys were interested. But this is one that I think does give a ton of people some excitement. This is the Norvina Pro Pigment palette number 5 or volume 5. Very beautifully purple dominant in this palette. Looks like there's lots of shimmers as well, which is right up my alley. And based on how these shades are structured on the palette, almost looks like you could do like quadrants of 4 where you can visualize certain looks based on the 4 in the square. It looks like that, like very easy to conceptualize what you're going to do when it comes to look. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I'm very curious. I will definitely pick it up if you guys think that it is exciting, but it's kind of exciting to me, I'll be honest. This is the first one that has piqued my interest. I'm not typically into like super bright colors, as you know, on a regular basis, but this is one that I do think you can really work with everyday friendly, or you can amp it up and be bold or more sparkly and things like that. This next palette is one I'm not super excited about, I'll be honest. I'll of course review it for you if you guys want me to. If the demand is there, I will be happy to help you guys out. But personally, this isn't one that is gravitating me to getting it. This is the Milk Cosmetics Brunet eyeshadow palette, I think is how you say it, or Brunet. It is a palette that has a unique blend of soft neutrals, spiced oak, and rich cinnamon hues, according to the description. It is 8 shadows. I don't know, you guys. It just looks... It's very practical. I will give it that. If you really want, you know, similar to, I guess, Patrick Ta, we just talked about with regards to browns and to beiges and to just those everyday friendly, beautiful colors, this is going to be right up your alley. I think this is just one that is kind of like, you know, it's not as exciting as some other ones. Maybe it doesn't have enough pizzazz. I don't know. Is it the outer packaging? There's something missing with this one, even though I'm sure the shades are just fine. You guys love the cream blush lights a lot, and those are highly recommended from you. I'm going to be testing that very, very soon. But with regards to eyeshadow, I've only tested one of their stack eyeshadows. I wasn't really impressed. I felt like it was actually quite an advanced eyeshadow formulation. Like it just seemed like it had quite a few things to consider. It was stiffer, it was harder to blend. I felt like you needed quite a bit of skill behind you for it to look somewhat decent. Maybe that was the problem. Like it's off of Sephora, so perhaps it just was a dud of a release because there's quite a few that are highly ranked with regards to the stackable ones. So maybe it was just that one that was just a little bit off, but I'll put a picture of it so you can see what I'm saying. That one didn't really impress me. So when it comes to trying other eyeshadows out, of course I'm open to it, but when you have an experience such as that the first time around, you're kind of like, well, I'm not as excited about it. I'm not super pumped. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this one. We knew that Urban Decay was coming out with a Prince collection. It has been out for a little while now, but I do want to take a look at it and kind of get your guys' opinion. It seems like it's, I don't know, I'm glad there was a purple theme, of course, with this one. Like Purple Rain and Prince makes sense. But there's a lot of very interesting questions and commentary around this release. Like, did Prince really want this? If he was alive, would he have wanted this? Would he have okayed some kind of launch like this? Would he have liked the packaging? Would he have liked the colors chosen? Things like that. Definitely does kind of make you wonder. When it comes to the Urban Decay formulation, it is one that is, I don't know about this palette, obviously, because I haven't tested it, but when it comes to the Naked palettes, it's a fairly consistent formula. Very user-friendly, you know, but also with regards to all these other crazy releases from other brands, I feel like this brand is losing a bit of steam. This one, I can't quite tell if it's cardboard packaging, but it sort of looks like it's a trifold cardboard packaging style. And then there's also, so there's one called Let's Go Crazy, which is the purple kind of collection. And then there's one that has more golds and deeper shades. This is the You Got the Look eyeshadow palette, also from this collection. They're both limited edition. They both seem to have the trifold packaging style. I don't know, I'm not really that into it. Like I kind of feel like I've fallen short with that one too. So what do you guys think of this collection? Is it worth picking up? If you've tested it, I would love to know your thoughts. Kat Von D has one. I always say Kat Von D. It's not Kat Von D anymore. Jeez, Jena, get with the program. This is Kbd Beauty now. Oh, sorry. That is just going to be a bad habit to undo. That's for sure. Kbd Beauty Planet Fanatic Fully Recyclable Eyeshadow Palette. Not gonna lie, this color story piqued my interest more than I thought it would, but it still comes a little short, in my opinion. Maybe it's because, and this is a real thing, if you're not a crazy fan of a brand already, does it kind of help you decide whether or not to go for a palette? Like personally for me, Kat Von D. Kbd Beauty is not a brand that I'm like, wow, I have so many things from it. It's such a winning line for me. It's one that I have so many beautiful holy grails. This is a brand that you have to really wow me to get me to kind of come over there and support you, you know, because I don't have a ton from your line. And it's not super exciting, right? So I really think that's the thing. Like you do have your favorite brands and it doesn't take much to wow you into purchasing maybe something new from them. But other brands, you need to be like very enticed, you know? And this is probably that one for me. It looks like it's dull for some reason. Does it look dull or like too soft? It doesn't look like it would be high pigment. I don't know, hard to say. Maybe that's just me reading into this. The packaging is a little boring to me, but you know I'm kind of a packaging freak. It does matter to me a little bit. However, this is a fully recyclable palette. So that's going to go to show the materials used are going to be a little different, not super heavy like this Patrick Ta packaging or like other really luxe packaging, right? That's okay. If it's fully recyclable, that's a pass. However, the stars, I think that might be like a company logo, but it's okay. It looks a little bit more on the drugstore packaging side, which means the price point of 61 Canadian seems a little bit high, you know? Those are my thoughts. Artist Couture. This is another brand that you need to wow me a little bit more. Nothing to do with, I think, is it Mac Daddy who owns this one? Nothing to do with him. I actually barely know much about him or his work. So if you do recommend him, his brand, do let me know down below. But this one is the Supreme Bronze eyeshadow palette. So now we have a third palette that features bronzes and browns and that kind of thing. So we got the Melt, we got this one, and now we have, and the Patrick Ta, of course. I have the Patrick Ta one. I'm good. I don't know if I need to buy a million brown palettes, right? Or bronzes or things like that, but it does look very beautiful. So if you are wanting to support this brand, it looks like it's going to be a really nice launch. There's some versatility there with some mattes and some shimmers. Very high reviews actually for the Supreme Nudes palette, which actually sort of gives me vibes. This is not the new palette, but it gives me vibes of like the ABH and Mario collection where it has a little bit of those olive tones. We'll talk about more inspiration from that palette in a second, but this is also one that I'm like, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I'm making like cat sounds, but yeah, I could pass. This one I could pass. Two more new eyeshadow palettes I do want to talk about today, but they both are not from Sephora. These are honorable mentions that I wanted to get your guys' feedback on if you're excited about them or if you just want to pass on these as well. The first one is actually from an indie brand. This is Glamlight, I believe. I have not tried a single thing from this brand, although the pricing is, I would say, mid-range. Ish, you know, it's not drugstore, that's for sure. And this is a new palette from them and TikTok beauty creator Michaela Nagora. I don't know if I said that last name right. I'm so sorry. But anyway, if you are on TikTok, you may know who Michaela is. I'm curious about this one and your thoughts. If I were to purchase this one and review it for you guys, this would be my very first Glamlight purchase, for sure. And I believe they ship from California. I don't know how long it would take to get to Canada. That's for sure. With ColourPop, it can sometimes take a trillion years. Yeah, it's, we'll see. But of course I will do that for you guys if you're very interested in a review on this one, because it'd be nice to support another beauty creator, that's for sure. And this palette does look extremely wearable with the pops of color if you so desire. It seems like it's one of those ones that has quite a bit to offer. Versatility is there. You can go kind of more, you know, browns and light pinks, kind of like me, if that's your style. Or if you want to play with blue or green one day, you can do that. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this one because I'm really unsure. I think I may just order it just to support as well, but I will absolutely do a review if you're interested in this one. And I'm curious to know what kind of quality Glamlight Cosmetics offers. The last honorable mention, you guys are going to be very surprised that I even decided to buy this palette. I did buy it. I don't know if I just had like a lapse in judgment or if something happened, but this will be the first product from KKW Beauty. This is why I hinted at the inspiration from the ABH and Mario collaboration, because this palette from KKW Beauty is the Camo palette. First of all, the marketing for this is so funny. It's a very classic Kardashian extra marketing. There's one part where it looks like she's not even wearing any pants. It's so weird. Of course, it's extra, right? That's what they're all about. But the palette is what I'm interested in because of those interesting olive tones, which reminded me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Mario collaboration. The only thing this palette is missing really is like a deeper like navy color, which was in the Mario collab. But there's a lot of interesting elements in this palette that reminded me of that collaboration. And it also gives me an opportunity to test this brand out. I don't know your guys' opinion on this brand, but it's 52 American dollars for this palette. So once again, we're kind of like, you know, mid to high end, depending on what you consider that cutoff to be. So I'm curious to know if this is going to be worth it. I will keep you guys posted on that. And who knows when it's going to get to me, because it's another one of those California-based manufacturers that probably takes snail mail to Canada. Let's just be real. What do you guys think of these new eyeshadow palettes? Are there any that you really, really want a review on? I'm kind of wondering if the ABH Norvina one is the one out of all of these that you're like, yeah, let's review this one. Until my next one, guys, take care and stay safe. Bye, guys.